Deep in the heart of Pennsylvania, there lies a small dot on the map, a place you won't find on most modern charts. Once a thriving coal mining town, now erased by fire and time. Its name is Centralia. Look closely. What you see is a quiet stretch of asphalt in rural Pennsylvania. Calm, ordinary, harmless. Yet beneath your feet, a fire has raged for more than 60 years. This is Centralia, a ghost town not destroyed by war or flood, but by an underground inferno still burning today. Few people realize how vast Pennsylvania's coal empire once was. Entire towns built directly over their own mines, feeding steel mills from New York to Pittsburgh. The seams beneath Centralia were some of the richest in the region. But they were also shallow, close enough to the surface that any spark could awaken them. The miners who first dug these tunnels in the late 1800s left behind a labyrinth of air shafts and passages that ran for miles. When the mines closed, those tunnels became forgotten cavities, perfect conduits for air, heat, and flame. Fueled by an estimated 25 million tons of coal, the blaze moves thousands of feet below the surface and could burn for another 250 years. What began as routine maintenance became one of America's longest-running disasters and the real-life inspiration for Silent Hill. Stay until the end, and you'll hear the single, almost absurd mistake that doomed the entire town. In the early 1900s, Centralia thrived. 2,500 residents, churches, shops, and a booming anthracite mine network that literally ran beneath their homes. Those tunnels, once the town's fortune, would become its curse. On May 27, 1962, the council ordered a small, controlled burn to clean the local landfill, set, unfortunately, inside an old strip mine pit. The fire slipped through a gap in the clay barrier and ignited a coal seam. For weeks, firefighters poured water and concrete into the earth. Nothing worked. The flames traveled unseen through the mines, turning the ground itself into fuel. For years, life went on above a sleeping giant. Sulfur smells, warm pavement, occasional smoke, oddities the locals learned to ignore. Until the warning signs became lethal. In 1979, a gas station owner checked his underground tanks. 172 degrees Fahrenheit. The ground was cooking. Then, on Valentine's Day, 1981, 12-year-old Todd Dombowski fell into a sinkhole that suddenly opened in his yard, 150 feet deep, venting carbon monoxide-rich steam. He survived by clinging to a tree root until his cousin dragged him out. The earth had literally swallowed him alive. That moment forced national action. For 2 decades, engineers drilled, trenched, and pumped ash slurry to starve the fire of oxygen. Every plan failed. In 1983, Congress allocated $42 million to relocate the town. Most residents left. A few refused, fighting the state for the right to stay on land that was, quite literally, burning. The government claimed eminent domain and demolished nearly every structure. Centralia's population fell from thousands to fewer than 10. Today, only empty streets remain, ghostly grids of sidewalks and driveways leading nowhere. Underground, the fire extends more than 8 miles, with pockets reaching 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt aluminum. The abandoned Route 61, once the town's lifeline, buckled and cracked from the heat. Rerouted in 1994, it became the infamous Graffiti Highway, a twisted memorial of color and decay, before being buried in 2020. In the early years, this road was the main artery between Ashland and Mount Carmel, always busy with trucks hauling coal. After the fire, Route 61 turned into something out of a dreamscape. Smoke curling from fissures, pavement warped like waves. Artists and urban explorers came from around the world to photograph it, spray painting messages across the cracked surface. We are still here. It became an accidental monument, proof that human creations fade quickly, but the Earth remembers. Centralia's eerie fog and smoldering vents still draw dark tourists and horror fans. Its look, smell, and silence inspired Silent Hill's hellish world. And the cause of all this? A single oversight. The crew never sealed the mine opening beneath the landfill before lighting the trash. One unblocked hole, one spark, destroyed a town. Centralia stands as a warning written in smoke, a reminder that one small act of negligence can ignite centuries of consequence. The fire is still burning, the ground is still unstable, and a few defiant residents still call this place home. Scientists continue to study the site as a living laboratory, an open wound in the planet's crust. Sensors buried in boreholes track temperature and gas flow. Some areas remain so hot that equipment melts. The underground fire now extends beneath neighboring towns, though most seams are sealed. It burns slowly, but relentlessly, consuming about 3 to 4 acres of coal every year. Thermal imaging from satellites still detects the glowing veins that pulse like arteries beneath Pennsylvania's forests. The blaze has become a permanent part of the geological record, a man-made layer of heat beneath the soil. Centralia stands as both warning and memorial, a quiet reminder of how human error can ignite forces beyond control. The fire is still burning. The ground is still unstable. And a few defiant residents still call this place home. Their chimneys cold, but their faith unshaken. Someday, long after the last house falls and the last name fades, the fire will still be there, buried in silence, waiting beneath the hills of Pennsylvania. If this true story amazed you, like, subscribe, and share it. Would you walk through a town where the earth itself is on fire? Veil Origins. Impossible Truths.